In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how webhooks work in Patterns. As you recall, webhooks are ways for applications on the internet to communicate with each other, typically used to send some kind of event or data from one system to another, like a notification from Slack or from Shopify. So the first thing we're going to do is create a small workspace inside of Patterns. We'll call it Webhook Demo. Okay. When you get to this screen, you can create a webhook by using this button right here. It's our webhook icon. And right now we're going to look at the ingest only type of webhook. This is basically what most webhooks you think of are. It just takes data in really fast, puts it into a table, processes it, and doesn't actually respond to the client at all. So the first node that's created here is the actual webhook itself. It comes with the unique URL that you can give to another application to send data in. The second thing is this data table. We're actually going to call this webhook data. This is where all the payloads that come in on the webhook will get placed. And finally is a webhook processor. This is just a template that you can use to fill out or build into a much larger graph. In this case, it processes the data that comes in on the webhook, and we're just going to print out any of the records that come in. So let's give it a shot. So on the webhook, we can go to this test tab, and we can make a new payload. We'll just say hello world. And we'll grab this whole curl command and go to our terminal and try it out. And you'll see that both of these nodes flashed and then turned green. When we click on the webhook, we can see that the record that came in was hello world. That's the thing that we pushed on. That data also lives here in the data table. And finally, as an input to the processor. And then we can see here in our console that it actually ended up printing this record right here. So let's try a slightly different webhook, one that returns data to the client. And this can be used when you're interacting with other systems that need to essentially make custom API calls into your graph. So we go here to the webhook and create an ingest and respond webhook. We'll go through a very similar type of thing, but let's make it a little bit more interesting this time. Notice the webhook processor in this case is a little bit different. It takes this unique key called the patterns request key that comes in for each request on the webhook and can return a custom response to that key, so something that you might compute inside of your graph. In this case, let's go ahead and turn it into a GPT completion endpoint. So to do that, I'm going to go to the marketplace, type GPT. I'm going to add our component for OpenAI's GPT onto the canvas. And then we're going to reconfigure things a little bit so that instead of the processor taking stuff from the webhook, the processor will respond with the prompt completion. So we'll make the GPT completion component read from the webhook table. We'll configure our OpenAI connection. And then we'll set up this prompt template. We'll make sure that each of the incoming records has a prompt field. And then we'll make the input store the webhook data. Now we'll make the input for the webhook processor come from the completions table. And then we'll generate a custom response. So we'll say completion. So now what should happen is the webhook should come in with a custom prompt key. It should get completed by OpenAI and then responded here. Let's give it a shot. So we'll set this to prompt. Say, the cow says, let's find out. Moo. Okay, that's it. Thanks for watching.